Welcome to part 3 of why do you want to work with a deity anyway? So the topic of this part 3 of this series is, so how should you approach deity work? How should you approach it? Well, I've made it clear by this point with the other two videos in this series. I view working with gods and goddesses as a complete option, part of your practice, and not something that should be rushed into. My advice to practitioners, new, old, need to get back on track, lost your track, getting back in it, wherever you may be. Okay, my advice is to focus on your craft first and foremost, and start researching the deities that you may be interested in on that side. Now, again, your source of power is you, your focus on your innate power and learning to utilize it without worrying whether if you don't know your own magical energy, and the deity thing should be second. Now, if when you find a deity that interests you, do a deep dive into researching them. Learn about their myths and their folklore. If you have joined our Patreon account, and I hope that you have, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I do a lot of diving deep on the myths and folklores of God and goddesses. It's very important to know the backstories on God and goddesses and how they work. And some of them have a big imprint on the planetarian set that oversees you through the planet that you were born underneath. Learn the culture they come from. Learn about modern practitioners and read what they have to say about their relationships with that deity. I write about it all the time on the Patreon account. I have a loaner book that is offered each month that helps you with the moon series, and it always relishes goddesses. Now, this is honestly all that is required for a lot of people to make contact with deity, is understanding. Showing this level of interest will often cause the god or goddesses in question to take notice and introduce themselves to you. They always introduce yourself. Like in the second part 2 that I talked about, it's better for the god or goddesses to come to you versus you going to look for them because it's popular, everybody's talking about it. You know, that rarely ends well. It doesn't end very well. Okay, so if this happens where they introduce themselves to you, congratulations, you've just met your first deity. If not, it's okay. Not every deity is so forthcoming, and not every person is going to recognize how deities are attempting to communicate with them right away. You may need to sit down and hold a personal ritual to introduce yourself before they start making significant contact with you. Also, even after you have started working with deities, it is completely within your right and set of boundaries to negotiate the terms of your relationship, and if necessary, end the relationship. Just because a god or goddesses give you the attention doesn't mean that you are shackled to them forever. Sometimes they cycle in and cycle out. I've had that in my magical practice over these years. Some of them, they come in, some of them come out. Some of them I use them for particular seasons. Some of them are my staples that I go to, that they work with me, I work with them, and they come to me. So you can introduce yourself to a deity and then decide 3 weeks later that the relationship isn't working for you, and respectfully cut off the communication with them. You can decide even after several months into working with the god or goddesses that you want to renegotiate the terms of your relationship. Yes, it's a relationship. As with any relationship, this should be a two-way street. You should both give and receive. You should both listen and be heard. If the deity that you have made contact with is unwilling to listen to you, to work with you in any ways that you need to consider your best interest, then that is not a good relationship. And you are fully within your rights to move on. Find another deity to work with. Overall, choosing a deity should be a slow process. You know, just like a good relationship, it takes a good year or so to understand the person, their true nature. It doesn't happen in 6 months, You're in the beginning stages of a relationship. People wear their best smiles, they best hats, they best mask that they like to wear. Just like in human form, people wear masks. God and goddesses wear masks too. So you have to allow time to develop. This is a major, major important part in developing the relationship. You wouldn't marry the first person you go out on a date with simply because he or she was willing to go out with you. And likewise, you don't have to settle for the first deity that you come across. Okay, so there are so many options and so many other parts of your craft for you to explore. Don't get bogged down and feel like you have to find your patron right this very second. Like, I gotta have one, boom, or I gotta have this, boom. No, take your time to court the god or goddesses. You've got plenty of time, and you already have all the power that is within you to work your magic just as you are. Okay, just as you are. So take this information, this 3-part series, make sure that you listen to them several times, see how they resonate with you inside, and then you leave me a comment down below. How did you approach your first deity? Or are you in the process of approaching your first deity? Or, hey, I had no idea I didn't have to work with one. So you can comment down below and let me know your thoughts. And the rest of us that are reading it will help each and every one of us to share. And it also helps us to develop our community here and conversations on our Patreon account as well. So I love you for watching today. Don't forget that we offer psychic therapeutic readings that will change your life. I am a 30-year practitioner, 3 decades of working in the modern spiritual practice arena. As well, we offer ritual work, spell work, consultations, as well as so much more in master classes to help your magical walk. It is a lifestyle, as well as our Patreon account. Go on and set up your email on our website at https://eclipticspiritualist7.com so that you can become a part of the community and get our emails and be a part of us. All right? Love you very much. Continue to grow and go with us. Dive deep in yourself and trust yourself first, always. See you next time. Bye-bye.